Sponsored by Bet365.
Hello and welcome to the Super Team Show. I'm Sarah Friend, here to run you through all the ins and outs for all the Aussie teams in round 6 of Super Rugby. And we kick things off on Friday night in a historic double header in Wollongong. It is the Sunwolves and Brumbies who will open the action at 2:45 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Their fixture moved from Japan due to concerns over the coronavirus outbreak. Brumbies coach Dan McKellar has handed Ryan Lonergan his first Super Rugby start, the halfback winning the number 9 spot over Wallaby Joe Powell.
I think he's really come along over the pre-season, Lonners, and he's playing good footy. Joey's the same, so it's nice. And then I've got Isaac Fines waiting in the wings, ready for his opportunity. He's another outstanding footballer as well, so it's good for Lonners to get a crack this week.
Winger Tony Pulu earns his first start of 2020, joining Solomon Carter and Tom Banks in the back three. Loosehead prop Scott Seo returns to the starting side, combining with skipper Alan Alalotoa and hooker Connell McInerney. James Slipper moves to the bench in Seo's place, while Darcy Swain, Tom Cusack, Rajan Pasatoa and Tom Wright all come into the 23. Next, on Friday, we travel to Christchurch as the Reds meet the Crusaders. In a major blow for Queensland, fly half James O'Connor will miss the trip with an ankle injury. Coach Brad Thorne has named an entirely new halves duo in O'Connor's absence, starting Isaac Lucas at 10 and rotating Samoa international Scott Malula in at halfback.
It's a good opportunity for Scott Malula to get a start. Tatey's been starting every game so far this year. More so just a rotational thing for our halves, get some game time under Scotty's belt and obviously give Tate a bit of a break from the longer minutes and probably more so to look towards getting Scotty the extra minutes as well.
Lukan Salakai-Loto returns to the starting side with Isaac Rodder rested and Bryce Hegarty is welcomed back into the 23. In other changes to the bench, Dane Zander comes in for loosehead prop Harry Hoopert and Angus Blythe replaces Rodder. The Waratahs wrap up Friday night's action back at Wynn Stadium in Wollongong when they host the Chiefs. Injuries have forced the Waratahs to name a new-look side for an all-important match. Captain Rob Simmons has been ruled out with an ankle sprain. Halfback Jake Gordon will sit out with a hamstring issue, while prop Tom Robertson and winger Mark Nawangani-Tawase are both sidelined with back complaints. With Simmons out, Kurtley Beale will captain the Waratahs for the first time in Super Rugby. Coach Rob Penney praising his leadership this week.
He's been superb. I think I mentioned last week how really proactive and positive he's been, and he's got a deep desire to make sure that the young blokes perform well and do well in the Waratahs jersey, and that's manifesting itself in a really positive light, I think, across his own leadership involvement.
Ryan McCauley will replace Simmons while Mitch Short starts in Gordon's place. Winger James Ram has also earned his first start after an impressive debut against the Lions last week. And the changes don't stop there for the starting 15 either. On the bench, Junior Wallabies Pat Tafa, Michael McDonald and Japanese Sevens international Siosifa Lisala are all in line for Super Rugby debuts. The Melbourne Rebels wrap things up on Saturday night at Amy Park in Melbourne, and coach Dave Vessels has stuck with the same side that beat the Highlanders last weekend in Dunedin. Matt Gibbon, Anu Rangi and Jermaine Ainsley make up the front row. Gideon Huglenberg gets his second start at lock, while Matt Phillip notches up his 50th cap for the Rebels. Angus Cottrell, Richard Hardwick and Izzy Naisarani hold their spots in the second row. The backline also remains unchanged, with Ryan Lawrence partnering up with Matt Tamua in the halves. Marika Corabetti, Billy Meeks, Tom English, Andrew Kellaway and skipper Dane Haley-Petty make up the remainder of the starting 15, and there's no changes to the bench either. Now let's take a look at the odds across all the matches this weekend. The Brumbies are short price favourites against the Sunwolves on Friday afternoon in Wollongong. The Crusaders are heavy favourites over the Reds in Christchurch. The Chiefs have the edge over the Waratahs in the second game at Wynn Stadium on Friday night. Then the money is all on the home teams on Saturday. The Hurricanes and the Rebels backed over the Blues and the Lions. On Sunday morning, the Sharks are the pick over the Jaguares and the Bulls are being tipped to beat the Highlanders. If you're going to have a punt this weekend, please do so responsibly. And don't forget you can keep up to date with all the live action right here on Rugby.com.au. I'll see you next week for round 7.